Today on Gamers Couch,
Love letter.
And now the audio is recalibrated. Hello and welcome to Gamers Couch. This is the 100th episode.
Time sure flies if you're having fun murdering people in the Mediterranean for victory points. I'm
having balls. Or balloons. Yay! So, now, for real, this is enough for the celebration. We will celebrate tonight with a glass of wine. Today, we're wild.
super wild.
I'm a unicorn, for God's sakes. We're talking about a very simple game today on the 100th episode. Guys, can you believe it? This is the official 100th
Almost
episode.
Well, it's been 2 years because I think we skipped a couple, but yeah, we've...
I looked back. We started in spring 2014 with the official Gamers Couch. We had the Taco Clock and Gamers Couch thing stuff together earlier. But anyway, we have the 100th official episode. Hence, we have the silly headwear and other things for you. But for the game... By the way, oh gosh, I'm excited for the episode, and I forgot to do the housekeeping. This is Daniel, my sweet husband, if you don't know him yet.
I deny anything for plausibility.
Oh, looks so cute.
Don't judge
here.
my little, what's it called? No,
A cone?
No, there's a... Where is it?
Oh, the button?
The button.
No, the
yes.
button is here. They can't see.
Don't touch my button.
No, you look so cute. And my name is Sarah. I'm the artist behind Pinselgeschichten. And guys, if you remember last week, yes, I made him wear the funny hats. Today we talk about Love Letter, one of the most ever played games in this household, and we, of course, did have it as a reference in earlier episodes a lot, but we didn't show you yet, so today is the day that we're gonna live play a couple of rounds on Gamers Couch. But before we do that, we will start by telling you a general gameplay and rules thing of the game. It's gonna be super fast. Then we're gonna talk about what we liked and not liked, and in the experiences, funny stories, we will tell some, and we will play who is going to be the winner of the 100th episode of Gamers Couch before we leave you with the tiny teaser for Draw for Initiative. And now, my dear, I talked enough, and you didn't interrupt me. I'm so proud of you. Please tell the folks about one of our most loved games, Love Letter. I took the silent one.
Welcome to Love Letter, where my voice is suddenly vanishing, and let me get that alien from Space Cadets out again. Hello. Welcome to Love Letter, where there is technically a story, which is you need to get a love letter to the princess because that single piece of paper will kind of eternally make you her loved one, it seems. Must be some really strong poetry that's going on in that letter. So the game is played with a bunch of cards. In fact, there are only 8 different cards. And if you're wondering what kind of set this is the regular German set, which means that you will have at least 8 German lessons of the day in front of you.
Maybe more.
These are the bigger cards. I think the new deluxe edition that's coming out is also using these big cards. They are really nice. So, let's get you started. 8 cards, it's not too difficult to go through them. The entire game is incredibly simple. You start with a card in hand, and all you do on your turn is draw a new card from the stack and then decide which of the 2 cards in your hand you want to play. Now, depending on the card you're playing, there's different effects happening. For example, the card with the lowest number, the guard, and now you can fancy on your camera because it's
100th episode.
The guard means that. Actually, let me step back a bit. You win the game by either running out of cards to draw here, which ends the game, and then whoever has the highest numbered card on hand wins, or you win if you eliminate all other players from play. Now let's talk about the cards. The guard allows you to guess which card a player has in hand. If you guess correctly, he will hate you or she will hate you eternally. No, actually, just until the next game. But you are eliminated from the game if you guess, if your guard is if your card is guessed correctly. Goddamn. Verdammte Hacke.
German lesson number 1.
Your 9th German lesson. So, if you guess the card of the opposing player correctly, that opposing player is eliminated from play for this kind of game. Which already brings us, you are not playing this once, but over usually several
Tournament
rounds,
style.
and he who has won the most wins. So me. There's a little caveat, though. You're destroying my. There's a caveat, though, with the guard. If the other player has a guard on hand, that doesn't help you much because you may not guess the guard. That also makes sense because the guard is the most common card in this game. So it is actually the higher you go in numbers, the less frequent the card shows up until the 6, which is then only one of those cards is available. So the guard is the first you may guess at someone's hand, and if you guess correctly, they go. Then we have the priest. The priest, as any other religious thing, look, don't touch, allows you, if you play this card, you are allowed to look at the card that another player is holding in his hand. Nothing else happens then, though, so he's not eliminated or something nasty. Then we have the Baron, and the Baron is a weird, kind of creepy looking fellow. His ability is, if you play the Baron, you compare the card you did not play that you kept in hand with the card of another player. And by the way, all this looking at and comparing cards happens in secret. This game can be played from 2 to 4 players, at least in the regular edition. And if you compare cards with another player, you do so in secret so that the other 2 players or the other 3rd player at the table does not know who has what card, obviously. So if you compare cards and it turns out that your card is the higher numbered one, the other player is eliminated from the game. You see, this game is kind of fully trimmed, streamlined to be played really fast. Then we have the handmaid at number 4. The handmaid gets played and stays in front of you until it is your next turn. She kind of acts like a shield. Nobody can target you with their cards. So if someone plays a guard, they cannot ask you for what card you have in hand, or if they play a priest, they cannot look at your card in hand, and so on. Then we have the prince. The prince, you get to choose a player, and funny thing, that can be yourself. And if you do so, that player has to, discard his card on hand and immediately draw a new card. There's a special case at the end of the game, which we'll get to. But that's his ability. You just point at someone and he or she has to discard a card and draw a new one. Then we have the king. The king says choose another player and exchange the card you're holding with the other player's card. Closing in on the final round, we have the countess. The countess actually doesn't really have an active ability. It just says if you are holding the countess and the king or prince in your hand. So let's say I'm starting my turn with the countess and I drew a king. That means that the surprise German lesson of the day. That means that I have to play the countess instead of the king. Same for the prince. So if I have either the king or the prince on hand, I have to play the countess if I also have her on hand. And last but not least, the princess, the actual kind of the goal of the game, the one you want to try to deliver the love letter to. The princess is entirely useless, except for winning the game. The princess has the highest score, so if you have her in hand at the end of the game, you obviously win. She has some nasty passive ability, though. If you ever have to discard the princess, so let's say via the prince, you lose the game.
Ta-da!
And that's it.
Yeah.
The princess still gets discarded. So if you're playing with 3 players, once someone has the princess on hand and you either guess it via the guard or you have he or her discard the princess via the prince, that player is just as eliminated as under any other circumstances. Also, as I said, card distribution. So there's 5 of the guards in here.
There's a handy card coming with the cards that says it.
5 of those guards in here. There's 2 of those 4 in here, and these 3 only have 1 card available. So if you are good with counting cards, it is still manageable. It's not like you're doing some 52 card deck remembering kind of thing. And that is also one of the major strategic points in the game. Now, to make card counting not too important in this and the entire thing boring, when you start the game, one of the cards from the deck is put aside face down, and nobody knows what card that is. So if you are, it could happen that the princess is actually not in the game, which is kind of the major thing, and you don't know, it could happen. Now I said the prince has some special thing going for it. If it is the last turn, so let's say you drew the last card from the deck and the game is about to finish, and the other card on your hand is the prince. Let's say I have a guard and a prince on hand, and now I play the prince and choose to discard or choose myself. So I discard the guard, and then I get to pick up the card that was hidden, which wouldn't have helped me at all. I would have lost with the lowest number at the end. And again, you check who has the highest card. It doesn't necessarily have to be the princess, but yeah, that's it. It's an incredibly fast game, and you typically play it until someone has won 3 times. I think out of 5, or
no,
it's just 3 times,
if it's
right?
4 players, then it's 3 hearts. If you were more than, if you're just 2 player, you play to 5 hearts, and you have a different setup. But we're going to show you the setup again. Like I said, we're going to play the game later in this video. So that actually leads us to the next section already.
I was about to say let's play now and then talk about likes and dislikes.
Okay, so
unless
he changes up things.
I mean,
it's the 100th episode. I let you.
It also gives me an excuse.
All the hots to me.
It also gives me an excuse to explain to you the 2-player setup.
So let me rotate a bit. Otherwise, I'm gonna be able to see your hand, and I don't want to. We play the 2-player version, but we're gonna play to only 3 hearts. So whomever has the 3 hearts.
That is the
first,
regular 2-player version.
No, it's 5 hearts with 2 players.
Oh, okay.
But we're just gonna play to 3 and...
See, the mind control cone is kind of impairing my ability to do
Are
something.
you candy corn now? Because you have stripes and you're yummy and you're sweet.
Now,
No?
the 2-player version is a little bit different. To mix things up, you put 3 cards out of the game and they go face up onto the table. So it's not really simulating a third player, but it's limiting a little bit the amount of cards that you think that the other player has. So when giving out cards, everybody gets a starting card. 1 card, as I said, goes out and is face down. And this is just for the 2-player game. We have some cards that are also out of the game, but are obviously still visible. So I will
start.
Sarah will start.
Everybody's shuffling. Whoop, whoop. Oh, my tröte fell out of my cleavage. So I'm gonna play first what I like to call the card condom, because it's preventing things the handmade.
Okay.
No fingering today, sorry.
I also have a sofa, which is the handmade, and I'm secure. So
go wash your hands. You didn't shuffle well.
My cards will stay here. We will now start putting cards that have been played. Let's put it here so we know that it is.
Am I a hand condom? No, I'm not.
So this isn't actually a rule. But you technically would have to execute whatever happens on the card. So if I have the handmaid out and Sarah would have played a prince, she would have to discard her card because there's no other target.
Never happened.
This isn't true for the guard, but we just make it as a joke for some reason that whenever we play and someone plays a guard and cannot choose anybody else, it's like, am I the princess? No. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's actually the only way, or the only occasion where at least we don't play that you have to say the truth. So now let me do some super deducing. I'm thinking.
Sherlock Sheeby.
Well, there's some cards that appear more often than others. Obviously, it doesn't make sense to ask for the priest, the baron, and the princess, as well as the handmaid. So the other card that is happens to be twice in the game is the prince. So I'm asking you, are you the prince?
No, I'm not.
Crap.
Countess?
No. Let me guess, now you are the prince. Well, you could only be one prince, because you are now...
Now I have to draw the one that I had to discard, and since it's my turn, I have to draw one more. Oh, for God's sakes.
And it makes sense to put the cards, the discarded cards out like this, so that everybody has a chance to see what's happening, and I don't like you. So
you just have to love me.
Have the
oh, for God's sake!
The König, which, if you pay close attention, happens to be our family name. So it's always fun in our house to say, "Are you the king?" I'm always the king.
Life? Yeah, so now this was like a show and tell, and now we're gonna have 2 rounds of real play, not really explaining anything why we do things, just yelling at each other. Just yelling at each other, because I only need 2 more hearts to win, which I'm going to achieve. I'm very confident. You saw I had the guard baron kind of a thing going on.
Yeah, there's a couple of card combinations that are notorious, at least here. That's like the which evil do you choose? One of those combinations is having a guard and a baron. If you play the baron, you compare your 1 against probably not a 1, what the other player has. But if you play the guard, you're still stuck with a pretty bad baron.
Yeah.
Going on with that. If you by now, if you for some reason, have not encountered this game and say, hang on a minute, is it fun that theoretically at the first turn someone can play a card and say, are you a baron?
No.
And then if that person says yes, is eliminated from the game, then that is correct.
Yeah, he said something first round, right? I play the baron and I play the princess. Booyah! Second heart.
So, for some reason, this game can be over really quickly. That is why you typically don't play it over 3 rounds. And, well, obviously, if you're playing with more than 2 players, it also takes a little bit longer. And, yeah, I would more kind of compare it to games that...
you play like tournament style over a year. Who won most of them in a year or something? Yeah, I would say like there is certainly a little bit of strategy involved playing this. Also, a fair amount of mind games. So a popular thing that you just saw me do is I played a guard and asked Sarah if she has a prince. Then say, you asked for the baron.
No, I asked if you had in the first game.
In the first game, yes.
I asked if she has a prince. Although I had a prince on hand myself, I thought, well, there's 2 other of those princes, so my probabilities. That is, on the one hand, yes, that is correct mathematically, but
you don't have to be. Honest all the time.
You want to have a card? Yeah. You can... Well, you have to be honest if someone is playing a guard.
Yeah, I mean, like when you say, are you the princess? And you hold the princess in your hand. You don't have to guess the things that you know are not in your hand. That's what I mean.
And sometimes the other player tries to win by just having you kind of die of old age because it takes forever for them to draw a card.
And if you...
Now I am attacking myself with the Baron. My card is surprisingly the same card. The same card that my targeted player has. So I didn't say that, but if you're playing the Baron and both players have the same card value, nothing happens. Although if you're playing with multiple players, everybody else at the table now knows that those 2 players have the same card.
Which eliminates some.
Some players prefer to be the chicken. I prefer to be the aggressive one safety. And ask myself if I am the Zofe. I am not the Zofe, though.
Really?
I
am you sure?
Wearing the funny hat. I am no handmaid.
Well, then let's see who you are.
There goes my king.
Oh.
Now I have to draw 2 cards again. This is a fortunate combination I just drew. Let's see if I can do the 1-2 punch. Let's see what you have.
No punch.
Unfortunately. Well...
You don't get the Potomac 1, 2, 3, 4 step. Are you the princess?
And again, my mind games did not work out because I drew the princess. Okay, let's go.
I'm having some applause be edited in post-editing.
Let's go to rating. This is the boring, terrible game, or the most boring, terrible game we have in our collection. Even though
we only had to rebuy it.
Even though it is the game we played the most, it is no guarantee for it to be a good game or a fair game. So I would liken Love Letter to a marriage. That is... not always good, keeps on going.
What?
Is sometimes really annoying.
You have to rebuy it?
And yeah, sometimes you have to rebuy it if it's broken or if it's too much, if it's too used up, you just get a new one. No?
Oh, that never happens to us. It's fine that we have to do that with games, but please not with a marriage. I'd like to stay with the first edition of that, please.
So, Yeah, obviously one of the things I like about this game is surprisingly, as much as you might have heard me in the last 99 episodes ramble about how I actually dislike games that weigh in too much on luck, I don't mind it here because one round is really short, and it's one of those games where if you are always trying to play optimally, in the end you will probably win. Your wins will even out over your losses there, or hopefully surpass them. So one of my, or probably my favorite classic game is still backgammon, and it is similar for me, at least, to that. And it is backgammon is also one of those games. If both players are doing stupid stuff,
Go on.
if both players are always playing at the same skill level and optimal.
I'm gonna have a board game.
No. If both players are making the best decision at any point in the game, technically the game ends up just being a game of luck, depending on who rolls better. I think, to me, this has the same feeling to it. Mm-hmm. It's you are kind of at the mercy of the cards, the heart of the cards that lets you draw the terrible combinations every time. And there will be games where you start with the princess in hand every time because you still haven't replaced your partner in your marriage because that one or cannot shuffle cards properly. But if you're playing this enough, it won't matter that much because for some games you will shuffle and
have the Baron guard thing going on.
Yes. But I like it. It is really quick to play. Mm-hmm. It is also a game that can be really mind gamey where you're trying to get into the other person's head. Which is also really great fun if you're playing with more than just two players, although we obviously played this the most with two players since it's our kind of go-to dinner game.
Dinner game, yeah.
But it is also a really great game for couples, where it's kind of I don't want to say free-for-all because that kind of gives you the wrong impression, but it is everybody fighting against everybody and still has those hilarious moments where you guess and the odds are against you, but you still guessed correctly 3 times in a row or something like that.
Also happens with mamas-in-law, but we're going to talk about that.
And the nature of this being so short, you never really hold a grudge. Even if you are thrown out of the game, or if you're the first to be thrown out of the game on the first turn for 3 times in a row, that's still just 10 minutes of game. So there's always the next game going on. And if a game takes longer, it is also surprisingly fun to watch. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes you know what the other person has on hand, and you're just waiting for them to have their princess blow up in front of them. Because
you've seen it with your priest 5 rounds ago, but you did not get either a guard or a prince to put him out of their misery.
And for being a game that essentially only has 8 cards, there is in fact some nuance there, as I said, with what information do you tell other players? But sometimes it is how you play. It happened more than once that someone played a countess. And everybody else will say, that can only mean that he or she has a prince, a king, or a princess, which are kind of the only cards forcing you. But that person may have just had a guard and just wanted to
throw everybody off. Yeah, didn't happen. No. You can have some mind games going on. And it's
pretty cool game for that.
And it's fun. Very often it was more body language of the players that did hint at what they had on their hand instead of them signaling with, words or anything. So that was a lot of fun too. And I really like that you can Well, you can house rule to the point the one who has 2 hearts first, or the one who has 5 hearts first, or whatever, how long you want to play. You can play tournament style over a year, just like Rummy Cup or Quirkle, who won the most games over a year gets, I don't know, date night, and the respective other one has to pay for the food or has to cook something for you, something nice, or whatever it is that you want to maybe have as a tournament prize in the end. You could also say whomever loses puts 10 cents in a jar, and over the year you collect money, and then you buy concert tickets from them and have a night out or something. I really like that it is this kind of a game where you can have a couples tournament style over a year and then have something as like a prize that you spend time together on something, whatever. And it's fun throughout the year. You can bicker and bitch and battle at the table, and yeah, the shaky king. And then you have, I don't know how many games under your belt over the year. And I like that this is the only game that we had to rebuy, because we played it so often that the first copy is really rugged, and you can see from the card back which card it is. And we had to rebuy.
Which brings us a little bit to component quality. Now that may give you, or have you say, well, that's not great, especially if knowing or not knowing what card another player has is so important in that game. Although I have to say, the production quality of these cards is actually pretty good. It's just we have been playing too much. And also, we don't sleeve these cards. These are, as I said, oversized cards. So the regular German edition comes in these oversized cards. That is actually the best thing about this game, I think, that it has these oversized cards.
It's nice for your hands for once.
For some reason, these tarot deck-sized cards, it is a lot nicer just to have 2 of them in hand, and
you can hide your face behind them. They're so big.
It's almost like having bigger cards makes you, or feels like having a bigger decision to make for some reason. So I've also played some other variants of Love Letter, for example, the Batman version, which comes with a small card deck, which is fine if you're traveling and you just want to have something to run around with, to have these smaller cards, but I very much prefer the big deck. Also, this version comes with little wooden hearts, as
that you can make Tiny Tuesdays of.
It's really nice. So there's I think there's yet now for Essen is sorry
again accidental German lesson.
Sneak German. So now is jetzt. For October, at least here. There's also the premium boxed edition coming out, which I think is another upgrade over what this is. But yeah, given just how often we play it, I think it's kind of, I have to pick it up. I don't know how much it is. I have to check.
This one was the box that. Can you please pass it on? So the first box, and we're going into. Let's rate quickly, and then I'm gonna say the thing that I want to say.
I already do.
There. No... Awesome game. So
it's a thumbs up if I win. It's also a thumbs up if I don't win all the time.
Yeah, but you're so proud of me if I win, so it's always a thumbs up for you. So, funny stories, experiences.
My hat is moving away from me. My opossum on my head is shifting.
So, we actually got this game as a gift from our dear friend Jim, who visited us end of 2013 for the first spiel, right? Right. Yeah. So I
hear my hair crumbling because this thing is moving.
We were shopping in a local game store, and he said, before the Essen Spiel started, and he said, do you know this game? Have you played it? Blah, blah, blah. So he stayed at our house for a couple of weeks. We just had met him in real life for the first time. They were gaming together online quite a bit before that, but he said, it's really nice that you let me stay in your house and we play games, blah, 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 blah. Here's a tiny little thingy, just as a tiny thank you. I'm going to buy you this game. You will love it.
An offering.
Yeah. So he bought it. And again, like I said, this is the second copy that we have. We played it to pieces. And then we had to rebuy it. And, I don't mind that we had to rebuy it because, well, like I said, we have hundreds of games under our belt before the cards were ruggedy and you could see, okay, this is definitely a prince. So it was fine. If other games are played 400 times, then they will have some distress on their components as well. So we bought it, and this is €8 a box. So this is one of the games where it's totally fine for me that you just play and play and play and play, and then you rebuy, get a new copy, and you play and play and play and play. And like you said, it's our favorite dinner game. And I just want to share some of the awful stories.
Just want to add to that. So we actually talked about some other games by I hope I don't mangle Seiji Kanai, who is the designer of Love Letter, that happened to be in that same universe, like
Lost Legacy,
and so
we had a couch for that.
Yeah, for some reason. Those never grabbed us as much as Love Letter does. But I think...
I love those more with more than 2 players. I don't like them as much for 2 players. This one is perfect for 2 players.
I also think that this game has just the exact amount of stuff going on to make it interesting. Also, at least to me, it feels perfectly balanced between an aggressive and a non-aggressive approach to playing the game. The Lost Legacy games either tend to be kind of where you have cards that more behave like traps, where, hey, if I pick you and you have that card, and then actually I lost the game instead of you asking after it for the guard. So this one feels like, okay, you can try to be aggressive, playing a Baron or playing a guard, or you can try to be more defensive with the handmade. Although actually it is in quite difficult to win just playing defensively. But playing defensively also sometimes means just keeping an uninteresting card on hand to be less prone for being asked, are you the princess? Well, okay, that's not a choice, but if sometimes you forfeit having a king or a prince instead having a priest, because usually nobody's asking you if you have a priest on hand.
Usually. And then we come to the funny stories. Never play it with your mother-in-law if she is the 3rd player, and in a couple of rounds, in a row, asks you in the first go, are you a baron? And it then is a running joke because he lost, he couldn't even play. He was shuffling, dealing the cards.
I had a lot of time now explaining the game.
I did do my first turn. My mom does her first turn, asks Daniel, are you the Baron? He's out and he couldn't even play. We had that a couple of rounds in a row, so that the Baron thing from as a first question instead of are you the princess is a running joke in our household. And also the agonizing look on, or not being able to keep it together look with the guard and the Baron. You always choose the wrong one. That's for sure. And it was, I don't know how many rounds that would I have played the other card, I would have gotten him. And in the end, he always won. Because at that one point, with the choice, am I gonna play the guard or am I gonna play the baron? It always kicked me in the buttocks. And in the end, it's also a running gag.
It shouldn't be that hard of a decision to make.
But
it doesn't make sense to play the baron. But for some reason, whenever we play and you play the guard, then something else happens on the next turn where your baron suddenly doesn't help you at all.
Yeah. Do you have any other stories to tell, or shall we have a last game without saying anything to the folks? They can just watch, and whomever wins has to...
So it's a triple or nothing?
Triple or nothing.
But wait,
if you win...
Triple, then...
I did win first.
It has to be quadruple or nothing, because otherwise I won't win.
Yeah, so it's all or nothing. Nothing with F.
Nothing.
If you win... You will get... I didn't decide on dinner yet what to cook for today. So if you win, you can choose dinner, what you want. No matter if it's paleo or non-paleo, you can choose.
It's going to be Cheesecake Day.
If I win, you have to color the monster on the next Imagimorphia page today. Because I want... So... Totally other
talking about painting,
but you know, he got me coloring books, and in 2 of them there's funny little doodles and monsters.
Let me shuffle. Okay. You can try.
There's funny little monsters, and he always picks one monster to color, and I color the rest of the page. So I want to start a new page, but I can't. So tonight, when this video is rendering and all that stuff, and I cannot do anything on the computer, I might be able to color there. So if I win, you color tonight before I start editing the video, so that I can color the page tonight. And now we play. We had that combo earlier. Are you a prince?
No. Are you a prince?
No. I'm a girl. Ooh. Now I just drew it. Are you the princess?
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you sure that you just drew the prince?
Yeah, I just looked and played. Oh, he's got a color. I was the king. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No cheesecake for you.
No. I'm the winner. I decide. So I decide dinner, paleo or non-paleo, maybe with cheesecake. You might have to bribe me with, I'm gonna take down the trash, so that you get your wish for dinner anyways. Or at least the cheesecake as a dessert.
But you need to be punished for this. You can't get away with 4 wins in a row.
On the chance of having too much information out here. I'm punished by air today on my own. I don't have to be punished by you.
I have the bad feeling that is also punishing me. Anyway, talking about next week's Draw for Initiative, I would like to get a hint to then pretend to guess at that hint, and then you say, oh, and then we say goodbye.
It's one of the more recent games that we acquired.
Okay. So, love letter.
It has, like Love Letter, it has odd-shaped cards that could also be called tiles, actually. And it's a cooperative game, and you are encouraged to break the law.
Oh, I know. It's Charter and Thorn, the Andor card.
Very much. Yeah. Let's do breaking and entering, trespassing on the foggy island.
On the foggy island, yes. That's it?
No, it's not, but it's a lovely idea.
Then it must be paperback.
No, it's not.
Now you have to say, but it is.
From the same designer.
And now you have a really good chance at finding out what game they are trying to visualize with their things. By the way, I just forgot to mention that. For Love Letter, the premium edition that's coming out is actually supposed to support more than 4 players, and it does so by introducing new cards. After saying what I just said about Lost Legacy, I hope that the feel of the game is not suffering from that. But that is actually something I'm looking forward to, because I really like Love Letter, but sometimes I would like to play it with 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, like the opener or the closer for our gaming group.
Yeah.
And if we're more than 4 players, then yeah.
Sometimes
go cook, wife. We have to open game night with
you
playing.
Just want to play,
or maybe. Ole, 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 ole.
I don't.
It was the 100th episode. Ole.
Goodbye.
Have fun, folks. Drink something nice.
Subscribe. And
you're not a priest. You're not.
That's actually more or less not the priest. This is more like 50 Shades of Meeple or something material.
No, it's like in nomine Patris et Filii Sancti. In church, priests do that, right? Or is it just the higher ranks? Whatever. Drink something.
We will learn something about exorcism after this brief
It's not exorcism. It's like at Mass on Sundays in Catholic churches. They do the Weihrauchschwenking. There's your other
the incense.
The incense. Thank you.
I want to remind you at this point that you are watching 2 atheists discussing religious matters and probably pissing someone off.
Sorry, not the intent, but that just reminded me. So anyway, now don't interrupt me, please. You guys, I hope that you drink something that you like in celebration of us having the 100th episode. So clink, clink, cheers. We're going to drink something tonight after coming home from food shopping.
I'm done with this show.
But yeah, so we're going to drink something in celebration of those 100 episodes. Thank you for spending 100 weeks with me on the couch and table and whatever, talking games. He talked to me 100 days in our 7 years of marriage. 8 years? Whatever, how many years? He talked 100 days.
There's certainly something gone wrong there.
It's a nice ratio. So, have fun, folks. Have a lovely Sunday. We're going to see you next week with a new game on this table. Hoping that we're going to have a lovely time at the future 100 episodes together. I would like that for sure. And yeah, have fun. Happy Sunday. Like, share, subscribe. Like he said, he did the YouTube trifecta already. And now we're going to go.
If you are safe for now from annoying sounds and, well,
I'm not gonna toot.
Only partially safe from watching us, but at least not watching us with funny heads. I think the next time we done,
Christmas season.
we done those might be at the 1,000th episode.
That one? Yeah. No, Christmas season, I'm gonna have something funny for us as well, but not maybe headwear, but
I would also be fine if we say the next time we have those is when we have like 10,000 subscribers, because I think that is even further away than the next 100 episodes.
You don't want to have funny headwear? I'm gonna make you wear it. But something special is gonna come up in Christmas time, so when it's Advent time, just like the last couple of years, I already have 3/4 of his Advent calendar together. It's all there in the studio and you cannot see. But we're gonna open Advent calendar for you on the Games Couch again.
Also, remember, it is that time of year again where the shopping war is happening close by.
2 weeks.
It is October now. That means the big clock
I'm not gonna toot.
The big clock shows it's time to get ready for the Spiel in Essen. We will have one episode next week.
Next week, and then after that, we skip a week because it's Spiel Sunday.
If you don't see us next weekend, maybe if you see us at Spiel, say hi. And we will all try to share germs because that's what you do in
We're
Germany,
Germans.
which is a bad pun. I just realized, but you have to live with it.
You
just
don't
like the
remember that
germs.
from last year? You made that pun last year.
Even worse.
No,
It's a sign. It's a sign for mental deterioration. Goodbye.
Oh, honey, that's why our marriage works, because you don't remember all the shit that I do.
Welcome to our 10th episode of Gamers Couch.
I'm sorry. You have to close. I'm having...
Terror!
I'm really trying not to toot.
You will not shoot at this table.
I'm trying so
Woman,
hard.
I am...
Don't make me laugh.
I am... There's no tooting happening here. Put it away. Put it away. Goodbye.
Oh, that was a sad toot. Bye.